Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Who doesn't love Spider-Man? Well, I'm sure you'll let me know down in the comments below, as well as how many of you cringed at my singing. But before we get to that, I'm Sasha Wood, and these are the top 10 Spider-Man facts you may not have known. Number 10. Aside from Batman, Spider-Man arguably has the best known rogues gallery out there. People know all about the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, even the Rhino. But Spider-Man's first villain to appear was actually the Chameleon, who debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man #1 in 1963, followed by the Vulture, who appeared in #2, and Dr. Octopus, who appeared in #3. Speaking of Dr. Octopus brings us to number 9. In honor of The Amazing Spider-Man #700, this was celebrated with the event Dying Wish. This brought the publication of that comic series to an end and began Superior Spider-Man. This was an arc that saw Dr. Octopus inhabiting Peter Parker's body as a new darker Spider-Man, for a while at least. The lead up to this arc began all the way back in The Amazing Spider-Man #600 in 2009. Moving to the big screen at number 8, there were numerous directors considered for the 2002 Spider-Man outing which starred Tobey Maguire. These included Roland Emmerich, Tony Scott, Ang Lee, David Fincher, and M. Night Shyamalan.
What a twist!
I guess the twist would have been that there was no Spider-Man or something. If that had happened, I would have watched that. Fincher seems to have lost the role not due to its more psychological film-based background, i.e. Fight Club, but because he wanted to do the night Gwen Stacy died storyline, instead of an origin. Ultimately, Sam Raimi got the role because he had been a childhood fan of Spider-Man. The death of Gwen Stacy was ultimately depicted in The Amazing Spider-Man #2 with Andrew Garfield, and people didn't exactly take to it very well.
No! God! No! God, please, no! No!
Let's get a bit silly at number 7. There is an alternate reality where Spider-Man has radioactive sperm. This occurred during the limited edition series Reign, which ran from 2006 to 2007, written by Care Andrews. This story takes place on Earth 70237 of the Marvel Multiverse, and this has a Spider-Man working 30 years into the then future, a Spider-Man who comes out of retirement to fight crime as Old Man Spider-Man, and also has radioactive sperm that gave Mary Jane cancer. If you're going to recommend this comic to anyone, don't start with that as the pitch, or do if they like more kitschy stuff. If you love campy stuff, you'll love our number 6. There was a 1977 made-for-TV film that was meant to serve as a pilot for an upcoming TV show, The Amazing Spider-Man, which ran from 1977 to 1979.
You've heard about him. You've read about him. Now, you'll see him in action. Kill him.
Despite this, it only has 13 episodes and 3 TV movies. It may seem laughable to look at now, but this film actually had state-of-the-art special effects for the time. And the scene where Spider-Man climbs across an office ceiling involved intense coordination, tracks, rigging, everything. They were really trying. Stan Lee, who sold CBS the rights to produce a primetime Spider-Man series, often ended up clashing with producer Daniel R. Goodman over what he viewed as the juvenile direction of the series. Number 5. Since 1972, Spider-Man has usually been part of more than one ongoing title at once. As Marvel's flagship character, his sales and popularity can support multiple titles, which is how you have so many adjectives to describe your Spider-Man. Amazing, astonishing, avenging, spectacular. I want that many adjectives attached to my name. I guess for many people those adjectives actually apply, as evidenced by our number 4. A 1965 poll done by Esquire magazine, which polled college campuses, found that people were ranking Spider-Man and the Hulk alongside Che Guevara and Bob Dylan as their favorite revolutionary icons. You hear that? Spider-Man was considered revolutionary. This may be because of our number 3. Spider-Man, who first appeared in Amazing Fantasy #15 in 1962, was actually a turning point when it came to teen heroes. Up until that point, teens were typically relegated to the role of sidekicks, who if they did branch off, did so to help teens with their teen problems. Spider-Man showed that teens could face all the problems adult heroes face and more. He was also pitched to be more human, facing problems like finding yourself and dealing with feelings of inadequacy. Him being made into a full superhero instead of a sidekick can be seen through the fact that even though he's 16, he is called Spider-Man and not Spider-Boy. But people seem to not want him to grow up too much based on our number 2. Author Authors were not thrilled with Peter Parker's proposal and marriage to Mary Jane, with editor-in-chief Jim Shooter saying, "I didn't think they actually should have gotten married. I had actually planned another version, one that wasn't used." Peter and MJ were married in the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 21 in 1987, and their relationship was retconned in one of the most maligned story arcs of all time, One More Day. This storyline involves Spider-Man making a deal with Mephisto, who is essentially Satan, in a move that saves Aunt May but ends up erasing his marriage to Mary Jane as well as their future daughter from existence and his memory. Well, just from his memory, like MJ still exists. Joe Quesada claimed, "Peter being single is an intrinsic part of the very foundation of the world of Spider-Man. I don't see how him being not married or married is better, but what do I know?" Which brings us to number 1. A 1970s Spider-Man PSA led to the revision of the Comics Code in 1971. When the Nixon administration's Department of Health and Education and Welfare asked for Stan Lee to publish an anti-drug message because of Spider-Man's reach, they were thrilled. However, this meant that the code had to be altered, as it had previously been stated that there could be no depiction of illegal drug use. The story that ran this PSA was Green Goblin Reborn and depicted Harry becoming addicted to pills, and despite it having an anti-drug message, it did not get the Comic Code Authority's approval. So Marvel ran it without their approval, and the comic sold so well that the code was then revised after in a move that really undercut its authority. Which is fine, because the way it was created after Seduction of the Innocent was suspect anyway. So those were some Spider-Man facts you probably didn't know. I said probably. Let me know your favorite Spidey facts down below. Also leave more suggestions for more nerdy lists here on Top 10 Nerd. I'm Sasha Wood, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.